Hey y'all, welcome back to Hopped Up Beer Review. Today we are drinking the Beast of Both Worlds from Lagunitas Brewing Company out of Petaluma, California. Thank you for joining us.
Beast of both worlds, beast of both worlds. I bite and I hold you close. Beast of both worlds, beast of both worlds.
Hey everybody, welcome to Hopped Up Beer Review, the show where we give you an unprofessional, somewhat biased opinion about the beer that we are drinking and reviewing. Welcome back. There's Jay, there's Andy in the attic. I'm Ben. What are we drinking today?
The Beast of Both Worlds. Bi-coastal IPA.
Right. We've had Lagunitas before, haven't we? On the show.
Yeah, with D. White,
Yes, we
special
have.
guest.
IPA, yeah. Kind of forgotten about him.
Ben, you will not like this beer.
Speaking of, if you're a D&D fan, Dwight is writing his own D&D stuff. Game Master, whatever they call him. So he's doing some stuff. So
Oh, that's pretty cool.
if you play D&D, leave a comment. I'll put you a link.
My daughter, she plays D&D, or used to.
Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mate.
Wake up, Ben.
I was waiting on it.
No, it's not that bad, Ben.
Just a little bite there on the way down.
Well, the Beast of Both Worlds is a bi-coastal IPA, according to them. 8%, 48 IBUs. So they take East Coast flavor and it meets West Coast clarity. It uses Mosaic, Citra, Strata, Sabro, and Euconaut hops. They double dry hop it with the Citra and the Mosaic. Really good. Technically, it's a DIPA, being 8%. That's about it. I think this is just the second from Lagunitas, right? I can't think of any other than their standard IPA. Lagunitas Brewing Company, currently out of Petaluma, California. Started in 1993 in Lagunitas, California, founded by Tony McGee after getting a 5-gallon home brewing kit and using on his kitchen stove. And then hobby turned commercial brewing, moved it to Petaluma because he needed bigger location. So they expanded quickly. Well, quickly, I say quickly, started with 5-gallon, of course. And in 2004, they were at 27,000 barrels a year. Then in 2010, 106,000 barrels a year. Then in 2012, this was an interesting 600,000 barrels. So they jumped almost 600% in 2 years. And
I wonder if they had additional investment at that time.
well, it's 2012. That was before. They made a second brewery in Chicago in 2014. So 2012, they jumped to 600,000. Then 2015, Heineken bought 50% stake in them.
That's
Technically made them the macro brewery that they are today. And then in 2017, Heineken bought the remaining half of the company. Didn't go over this in the last one, I don't believe. The dog here, of course, the head is similar to what you see on like some of the other ones on their symbol, the Lagunitas.
there.
There you go. Good eyes, Jay. So that dog, it's not meant to be a specific pet that the founder owned. It was inspired by Petey the dog from the Little Rascals. And he wanted a dog as branding to suggest loyalty, friendliness, and approachability.
I like the little quote on the can. Did you read that one?
Did I? Not
Probably
in the
not.
show. Go ahead and read it.
So it says the greatest beer this side of the Mississippi, comma, which side is that? Don't know. We were never one for directions. Beer speaks, people mumble.
Ben will be able to tell us which side is represented by this beer.
Yeah.
I do appreciate they said that, because it's an East Coast, West Coast. So you got him one arm ripping up Golden Gate Bridge, other arm is at the Chrysler Building. You tell me, Ben. You're Mr. New York.
I can't hardly see it.
No, it's not the Chrysler Building.
It's either Empire State or Chrysler.
Maybe the Empire State Building.
Empire State Building is what I would guess.
Yeah.
I mean, it does taper kind of like the Chrysler Building, but anyway. Yeah, probably Empire State.
Who
Brooklyn
provided
Bridge.
this beer?
I did.
Well, I had my own, but yeah.
Why don't you, Ben, since you're the only one have you had it yet?
I've not had it. No.
Not mug it? Well, since you're the only one who hasn't had it, why don't you go first?
So, yeah, the initial sip definitely had a bite to it, as I previously mentioned. It's definitely more to me, as Andy alluded to. It definitely, I pick up more West Coast than East Coast. That being said, I think it's really interesting from that standpoint. I don't think it's bad. I mean, it doesn't have so much bitter, but again, that first sip or two had a little more than I would probably normally like. But it's kind of tailed off a little bit, and it has a really interesting flavor from that standpoint. I don't get the piney resin bitter. So I guess maybe in that way, it's where kind of I guess that East Coast comes in a little bit. It is a little more juicy, hazy. I think it's really, really interesting and fun. Is it a beer that I have to drink a lot of? No, not necessarily. Would I drink it again? Sure, I think I would.
Stop answering your own questions.
Yes.
Just tell us without asking questions of yourself.
It's a 7. How about that? Andy, go next.
Do I want to give this a rating? I do.
Jimmy's going to get you.
Yeah.
You know that reference?
So it's been a couple of years since I had it on draft at Highs and Pints in Birmingham. And it's, like you said, Ben, East Coast flavor, that juicy blast. To me, it's more of a orangey citrus, especially on the first sip, and then meets West Coast clarity. Then you get a little piney, resiny flavor. Double dry hopping really helps to reduce the bitterness because it was 48 IBU, so it's going to get some potential bitterness there. I get a little sweet. That, we say honey, even though it doesn't have honey in it. I get that kind of sweet honey flavor being a higher ABV. So I really like this, for being a quote macro brewery. I think it's a pretty good beer. Today, I don't know, this stands out more than I guess it did when I had it the first time on draft. I'm going to give it an 8. I gave it a 7.5 when I first had it. I'm going to give it an 8 today. This is hitting really nice.
All right, Jake.
Yeah, I agree with you, Andy. I think it's a fun beer, just because of the balance between the two. And, you got to give it up to Heineken for allowing Lagunitas to still be like this and do fun things. I mean, most of the time, the macros, when they buy them, they just kind of produce their year rounds and don't stick with some of these seasonal or limited availability type things like this. So I think that's really cool that they've allowed them to do it. There've been a couple that have done that in the last few years, but obviously they've been doing it for close to 10 years now, like this. So I agree. You know, you get that sweet honey flavor a little bit because the ABV, and you said it best too. You get the citrus on the front, first sip or two, and then some of the resin. Although it's not really that resiny, like a true full on West Coast. So it's well balanced in the way they describe it, and kind of if you want to say it's a struggle between the two, but I think it's good. I'm gonna stick with where I have it at a 7.5. I think it's another beer I drink again, but I'm not gonna seek it out. So
That is going to be a 7.5 for the Beast of Both Worlds by Lagunitas. What do you like better, New York or San Francisco or LA? I mean, I've got my favorites, obviously. Leave us a comment down below. Let us know, or hop on into our Hopped Up Beer Review Discord server. It's a chat room. We are there. Who do you like for the World Cup? But maybe by this time this airs, it'll be over. But anyway, be sure to like, subscribe, cheers that notification bell. Check out all the links down below. And with that, appreciate you watching this video. For Andy and the Attic and Jay, I'm Ben. Cheers, mates.
Cheers, man.
cheers, mates.